So the holidays were supposed to be a time of making memories and sharing special moments together and traditions. But when you're divorced or separated, the holidays can feel completely overwhelming and a minefield of walking through logistical nightmares and conflict. And so one of the things I work with our clients are finding ways to navigate the holidays and think things through ahead of time in their parenting plan so that we can hopefully minimize the opportunity for some of those minefields to occur. So, one of the things I like to work with my clients on is shifting their mindset around the holidays to begin with. And so, what we want to do, obviously, first and foremost, and this is the key to all co parenting, is we have to get in the habit of putting our children's needs before our own. And it can be really difficult to imagine when we've had these babies and we think about the possibility of maybe waking up on a Christmas morning without our children there. It can be devastating if that holiday holds special moments for you. But what I want you to do is think about your children and knowing that they want to spend Christmas holiday, whatever the holiday is that you share with both of their mom and their dad. Now, if it's not possible for you to share that together after you're separated and divorced, don't get so hung up on the actual day themselves because most likely, if the holiday is important to both of you, you're going to have to alternate the holiday. Now, we can work out scenarios where you split the day in half, or maybe you decide that maybe Christmas Eve is more important to your family. So you take Christmas Eve, and maybe Christmas Day is important to your ex spouse's family. So they take that day. But sometimes the couple has to literally alternate that holiday every other year. So what does that mean? That means 1 year you're not going to have the holiday. And instead of letting that be a source of pain for you, which it's okay to feel disappointed, it's okay to miss our children when we're not with them. Trust me, I've gone through it as a mom. But what can you do to shift your mindset and create new traditions on your off year? And so just because the December 25th is Christmas, it doesn't mean that you can't create a special Christmas morning experience for your children on another day. So the holidays and the emotional grief that you're going to experience if you're having to share your children now when you're used to having them every year, the grief part of it really can be answered, or you can find a lot of help if you have a good divorce professional helping you in the beginning. Set up a really robust parenting plan that is going to go ahead and think about all of these logistical issues and think about the problems that come up with sharing holidays ahead of time so that when you get to the holiday, everything's already decided, everything's all laid out, and automatically lessens the tension and lessens the opportunity for conflict. However, you're still left with a lot of feelings. There's still going to be feelings of missing your child on those special days. You're still going to feel maybe lonely. You're going to still feel sad. And my recommendation is that you just really have to embrace those feelings and work through them. Make sure that you have an amazing support system, whether that's a trusted friend or a therapist. One of the things I started doing after I got divorced is when I was going to not have my children, that was when I planned time for myself to take a trip. And so I would make sure that I was doing something fun for myself so that I wasn't just left alone without my children and just missing them. I've really come to tell most people that work with me that being a single mom and having to share my children and co parenting actually was my superpower as a mom. Because when I wasn't with my children, I had the space to pour into myself and really give myself the self care and the self love that I needed to be my best self. So when I got my kids back, I was actually a better mom than when I had them all the time because I was present, I was refreshed, I was ready to be with them, and I wasn't getting annoyed by all the little things that happen on a day to day basis because I had had that break to really pour into myself. So all of this is really about shifting your mindset to start looking at how you're going to empower yourself through these instead of trying to look at this as a win-lose situation. And unfortunately, the old system, everything's a win and a lose situation. So it's his Christmas, so I lose this year. No, this is the Christmas that I get to pour into myself. And I'm going to start creating new traditions for the years that I don't have my kids on Christmas. I'm going to create a new tradition for them. And then next year, I get to have that Christmas morning. and start shifting your mindset so that you're not always looking at a win-lose situation. Key to handling co-parenting during the holidays, though, really is to keep your kids center stage in your mind, to put them first and remember that these are core memories for them. And if it's one full of conflict and it's one full of tension, they're going to absorb that. Even if they're young and they really don't understand everything that's going on, they're absorbing that energy. And so you want to make sure taking care of yourself when you're not with your children so that when you are with them and celebrating the holidays with them, you're able to really hold space for creating happiness and joy for them. That doesn't mean you have to be perfect. And that doesn't mean that you can't admit that you're struggling too and you might wish things were different too. We can respect the reality that we're facing, but also not burdening them with the overwhelm of your grief through the process. So the key here is take care of yourself. My clients who do the best are the ones who make their self-care their job. They literally make that their priority because I can promise you this, if you are okay, your kids are going to be okay.